Hi everyone, today we're talking about Netflix and their earnings. If you don't know, if this is your first time watching my videos, then I currently have no investments in Netflix. Previously, I've pretty much stated on the channel that I believe the stock is slightly overvalued, and I think that it has a lot more competition coming up in 2019, which makes me worry if you were a Netflix shareholder. I think the PE is a little bit high on it. I won't bet against it. I think the stock will go up long term, but I think it's just something to watch out for. And that was my stance on Netflix beforehand. But we're going to get stuck into Netflix's earnings. Now, Netflix's earnings were absolutely amazing. If you were watching Netflix in the last earnings report, you'll know that they missed the subscriber estimates by quite a bit. Especially in the US, I think it was half of the estimates. It was very poor, and the stock got absolutely killed for it. I think it was 20%. It went down. But Netflix's earnings this time were very good. Revenue was 4 billion versus 4 billion estimate. Earnings per share came in at 89 cents versus 68 cents, which was really good. Subscriber additions was 6.96 million. And the company is projecting 9.4 billion net subscriber additions next quarter. Domestic additions 1.09 million versus 673,000, and international subscriber additions 5.87 billion versus 4.46 million expected. So obviously domestically, that was nearly close to a double beat, where last time it was half of what they were expecting. Internationally, it was quite a nice beat as well, but the domestic subscriber would have, if you were if you were a Netflix investor, you probably just relaxed a little bit knowing that they beat it last time. Netflix has never missed a subscriber estimate twice, so if Netflix were to miss that subscriber estimate 2 times in a row, I reckon it would have been a little bit scary as a Netflix shareholder that they did that twice. But it was good to see that they did beat estimates overall. Like I say, if they didn't, it would have been a massive problem. It would have been saying that Netflix is now slowing down, probably time to sell the stock. There's a lot more competition, but for them to do that, I think it would have calmed you down as a Netflix shareholder. Obviously, the stock is still growing massive. There's a lot of potential in the company. I think the price target is still a little bit too high for where it should be at. But it is a good company that's growing. I think the really interesting thing is Netflix. Like I said, I've said on previous video, is that Netflix will have a lot more competition coming up, coming into 2019, and trying to still kind of hit them subscriber bases that they've been giving them estimates. The problem is if Netflix do miss 2 consecutive quarters of missing the subscriber targets, then it will hurt the stock massive. And I think there's a lot more risks to that towards next year. And the price it's at kind of says to me that a lot of people are thinking, oh, Netflix has no competition in the sector, when it really does next year. I don't know how it's going to cope with it all. But overall, for the at the time being, that was a really strong earnings. Like I said, that the next quarter earnings, it'll be it won't be such a big of a deal now because they've hit a positive earnings compared to if they were to hit 2 negative ones. It would have been definitely a bit of a struggle. But it was good from a Netflix point of view. I think it is a big year for Netflix next year, and we'll see what happens. But just covering the Netflix kind of earnings report, and good earnings, and we'll see what happens next year. My opinion, I won't be buying any Netflix stock, probably for the next year at least. But potentially I'm looking at Disney, and we'll see what happens there. But that's the video for today, guys. Give the video a like, subscribe. We're doing a few more earnings over this week, and I'll also have the free stocks I'm buying and free stocks I'm watching coming up on this channel this week as well. So I'll see you then, guys.